Day 11, expectation versus reality. And I'll get it in one shot. There has never been a more expectation versus reality in my shop than trying to make this desk. So, it's taking me about 8 months to try to make this desk. This was the first attempt at making the desk top. And I'd never worked with plywood, which had a veneer as thin as this veneer. It is absolutely ridiculous. But it's really nice plywood. It's like, I don't know, 7-ply or something like that. And when I put this walnut trim on, I first oriented it the wrong direction, thinking it was going to just be a nice design feature, not realizing that it wasn't going to add any stiffness at all to the overall structure. It only is about 1/4 inch thicker, and it's just as bendy as really the plywood is. And then also, as I started eating away at veneer, you can actually see it better where? Here we go. You can actually see it better down here. And where else? There's another spot on here where you could really see the veneer coming through because I just over sanded. But I started sanding through the veneer thinking that, oh, whatever, the trim is over height, but that's okay. I'll just sand it down, no big deal. I tried to repair this by putting a strip of very similarly toned walnut in it. And that didn't match up whatsoever. I couldn't blend it. And then I took a planer, thinking that if I set up the planer, a handheld planer just the right way, I would be able to trim off this whole strip and make it flat. And I didn't measure correctly. And I also slipped and ran the planer crooked. And man, it just completely ripped off this whole piece. I had to completely start over. I was so discouraged. Because when I was first building this, I was thinking, oh, one piece of plywood that I'm just going to frame with walnut. No big deal. I've done a lot of smaller projects, a lot like this. And boy, this was my expectation. I took my time. I did 3 times as much measuring. I used better tools and better setup. And even still, I am 1 coat away. I was putting my 4th of 5 coats on this, because I try to put them on as thin as possible. And as the 4th coat was drying, a bug landed on it. So I got to sand that off, get it flat, and go again. But talk about an expectation versus reality, which I just think is my general, if there was a mantra of a young man's workshop, it would just in general be the expectation versus reality of when I start a project versus when I finish a project, or many, many times started from scratch. I also thought today was going to be a little bit more manageable, but it's like 100 degrees and like 100% humidity, and it's a little ridiculous. But thanks for watching all 4 minutes of this, and see you next time.